Welcome back to another installation of the Boys podcast. We're just fresh off of a undeserved Arsenal victory. They are gunning for glory. I guess they are the favourites to win the league. We're all so delighted about that, aren't we, Copley? Yeah, he can't even speak. But yeah, we'll be covering a lot of topics, including how wrong Jim was about Erling Haaland, Lampard and Everton, as well as the relegation battle being quite tight. So please stick along for the ride. And with some of the usual suspects, I think we're going to downgrade the size of the podcast to have just so we have a few people get an opportunity to talk, so people don't stand like statues all podcast. Yeah. So I'm talking about a certain Arsenal fan here. But yeah, without further ado,
Chaz, you need to talk more, mate.
Let's talk. Let's talk about. If anything, he needs to talk less. But yeah, no. Without further ado, we may as well just get in there nice and early. Arsenal. They beat Man United at the Emirates, very expected when we didn't have Casemiro. They played us out of the park as well, can't lie. In the second half, we looked so tired, but I'll let the Arsenal fans speak. Chaz, take it away. Chaz or Aaron, take it away.
No, I'm going to let Aaron take it away first.
The first thing I was going to say is obviously you said is Casemiro was there, it'd be a completely different game. Do you genuinely 100% think that wouldn't have been the result if Casemiro was playing?
Well, we won't know now, will we?
I think if we're the result in terms of the 3 points may not have changed in my opinion, but if we're looking at from how we actually performed, especially in that second half, totally different game.
Yeah.
Fact.
Eriksen wouldn't have been on the pitch.
True.
Yeah,
it was shocking today, by the way,
mate.
Yeah, he was.
Again, I'm seeing a load of like Tottenham fans saying, "Oh, like obviously Eriksen, big games, blah blah." But we've seen him do again special things in special moments. Like we've seen it in his career. I think today it's just a bad day at the office, and tactically from Ten Hag. Again, I feel, I know I have. I think Copley is starting to. I put a lot of trust in Ten Hag, how he picks the team, how he manages his team. I think just today, I think he did get it wrong for the most part, especially in terms of his substitutions or lack of.
I don't think his starting lineup was necessarily that wrong, because if you look at the game, the reverse fixture at Old Trafford, Eriksen played really well. He stuck to Odegaard like glue, whereas today it was a completely different story. And I don't know if that's because he's obviously like 4 months further down Erik ten Hag's tenure as Man United manager, so they're playing with a bit more confidence or whatever. And in the reverse fixture at Old Trafford, it was still a bit cagey for United like game plans. But Eriksen was about as effective as Luke Shaw today, and that wasn't very effective. But yeah, the substitutions were poor from Ten Hag, I think.
Yeah,
they were quite poor.
Just before you miss it, I just want to say an honourable mention. I think you'll all agree with me. Wan-Bissaka, another very good performance from him today.
Very good, but I thought
except the first goal.
Don't get me wrong. He made a couple. The first Nketiah goal, that was his mistake. But again, I think he kept Martinelli relatively quiet for the most part.
He did.
I think most of the Arsenal attacking was down the right hand side with Saka, and that's obviously Shaw in the fucking ropes.
Yeah, I mean, Saka had Sessegnon on ropes last week, but today Shaw was, bless him, he got victimised badly, which isn't his fault. But I don't know what he's meant to do against Saka, who, let's be real, is this season one of the best wingers in the league. I don't know what he's meant to do against him. Didn't help that he had no help support, whatsoever from his teammates in dealing with Saka. But yeah, I mean, I think Shaw's going to go on tonight and empty his pockets. And normally when a defender pockets a winger, they empty their keys, their fucking wallet, and then they empty the player as well. But I think Shaw will go home tonight and empty his pockets, and there's nothing fucking in there.
He's going to go home and I think he's going to have a little cry.
Oh, he'll have a cold shower as well.
I think today. Go on.
I was just going to say he's going to sit. It's a sit-down shower for him today.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way, right? if Jim gets a message later saying notebook ? It may not be from Copley, it may be from Shaw. because he was bless him. He was, it wasn't his fault, but he was. I think today Saka really kind of stepped up to the mark and really showed.
He was unreal.
Really showed how good he actually is.
You've probably heard me say a few times over the course of this season. Probably be the quickest one to critique Saka, but today he was lights out for 90 minutes. He was lights out.
I've never been sold on him massively.
I don't think many people have, apart from Arsenal fans.
My word, a few games this season, I've been. I think he's been.
His goal
getting
as
the
well.
Consistency, isn't he? He's getting that consistency in that end product there as well.
Yeah,
like there was no doubt in his work rate at all, like throughout it. But like he'd always look a little bit like Bambi on ice whenever he had like the ball in a vital area. But like this season, he's come on leaps and bounds and shown that he is A is a footballer and B, I hate to say it, but he's in the upper echelon and he's teetering on the edge of sort of getting to that world class.
I think it's a ton of credit to both Arteta and Southgate. They've both put all their trust and all their belief into this 21. I think he's now pushing 23, if I'm not mistaken, year old kid. And the
I think he's 21.
Is he still only 21?
21.
He's
Yeah.
Fuck. Well, even so, a 19, 20-year-old kid giving him all the games home, giving him all the fame and the media attention, and now we're seeing, as you say, Brick, a very good, borderline one of the best wingers in the league this season.
Yeah.
I mean, I was listening to
God, that's painful to say.
The analysts after, and I don't know if it might have been Jamie Redknapp, but I truly agree. I don't think there's many teams in the world that he doesn't walk into. I think he's been fucking awesome.
And with so much confidence.
Mm.
Every time he gets the ball, he's just looking at a defender like, I'm having you on toast.
Yeah. There's been numerous games this season where he has been unplayable, and he was a massive reason today why Arsenal's so good. I said during the watch along that I actually thought that Man United probably had the better first half, and that was more down to the fact that even when Arsenal did get into good positions, or when they did break away the ball, their passing and their passes into the final third were pretty poor. So I actually said that Man United I thought had the better first half, but I mean in that second half, but bar the goal that United scored, I thought Arsenal were completely dominant, completely. Obviously, Man United played midweek, that comes into it. Fatigue, tiredness, and whatnot. But yeah, Arsenal were causing United serious problems in that last 15-minute period, and big old Nketiah come up with the goods again in that game, scoring another goal.
I think I saw a Statman Dave stat that I think this was his first season where he's hit double figures in the league in terms of goals. Let me just try.
Is he
in the league?
He hasn't hit double.
He scored 4 or 5.
It might be across all comps and potential. I saw a stat somewhere.
Because Odegaard was.
He scored goals in Europa League and the Cup, to be fair. So probably his double figures. Yeah.
All season.
Right. And Nketiah he's never really been used by Arsenal. Obviously, he was used last year. Done a decent job last year. I don't know what it is. I just feel like I mean, as Arsenal fans, and we see opposition fans always say that this season anyway that this is where you're going to slip up. This is where you're going to slip up. And the big thing was Arsenal are a Jesus injury away from crumbling.
And then there's Nketiah.
But I think Nketiah has done a brilliant job with him.
Oh, he's been fantastic.
Brilliant job. I mean, I don't know what would have been said if the game was 2-2 and we look back on the Nketiah chance when De Gea made the save down to his left.
What a save!
We might be talking a different kind of topic right now, but he was really, really good today. Really good. But I also think Martinez I thought Martinez was United man of the match today. I thought he done really well against him. He put in a couple of major challenges.
He was unreal.
That last ditch tackle was it Xhaka? I think it was.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. But
unreal.
If we kind of isolate that United Arsenal game, which by the way I think I tweeted it on the boys' cancer, and I truly believe I think that was a title decider. I think if we win that, then it's probably a 3-4 legged race. But I think because now obviously you're taking away the 3 points, I think that's the title wrapped, in my opinion.
That could be. That's. I think that's a fair.
I don't
It's
think
quite
it's wraps.
out there, but it's not too outrageous.
If Arsenal lose twice to Man City, mate, Man City take the lead.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have got to play. I know, I know you said everyone
keeps
saying this.
Well, they'll be a point behind or whatever. How many points?
No, they'll be a point ahead. But
you're currently, as it stands, Arsenal have played 19 on 50 points. City have played 20 on 45. So you're 5 points clear with a game in hand.
I mean, look.
It's a long way to go still.
Yeah, for you, there's 19 games left to go.
Yeah.
There is still a lot of football to be played, a lot of points to gain, lose, draw, whatever. But again, you've played United twice. You've played Spurs twice. You've played Liverpool once.
Yeah,
we're not a worry though. Fucking hell.
I mean, no, but I'm thinking more big team. Again, Newcastle, you've played once, twice.
But we stuck in there.
Of April that we've got a bit of a dodgy run up.
You take that, Jim. You take that.
That's a win. Could be a threat.
I mean, look, there's no reason why this Arsenal team can't go on and win it. The thing that scares me is that with every single game and every single point we gain, my hope goes up a little bit more.
The thing is, so in the last 5, even if you drop points, City have already dropped countless points to teams they shouldn't have. Obviously, they lost to us last week. They drew to Everton. That was at the start of the month. They've got Tottenham on Sunday the 5th after the domestic cup run. So, and City just don't look good either. And they've also got obviously a lot of games. They're still in all comps. So,
no, especially we ain't gonna win the next 19 games. So we're gonna need some opposition teams to do us some favours.
I think you'll find out more once you played City at least once. I think that's when you'll know.
We're playing on Friday in the FA Cup, which obviously is just the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And I can't quite work out what I want. Obviously, I never want my team to lose, but I can't work out if I want to
get out.
If I want to
beat. So, Jim, when you played City in the Community Shield, did you want to win that game, or because obviously it's like a psychological one, isn't it? It's like another.
When I say get out, I mean get out as in keep you playing less games.
Yeah, that's literally it. I think like as long as your rivals, I mean, think about Man United, like. We're still we've still got our finger in a lot of pies at the moment. Like that's going to wear us down, and we're going into this really long stretch. I looked at our stretch of fixtures. I think the longest gap we've got is 4 days, 4 days rest between fixtures. Whereas like I feel like if you guys are going for the title, you want to get bombed out. It would be nice.
I do get what you're saying with the point now, like the mental side, because that was literally what I said. Like when we won it, I was like, I don't give a shit about the Community Shield. Like in my head, obviously, I know it looks stupid now. I thought we was going in for a title race with them, and I thought we've always struggled to beat them. We've always just ended up drawing. I was like, getting one over them early on, first game, I was like, that's unreal. And then we went on to lose like most of our games, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I think obviously with Arsenal in the Carabao Cup, I mean, I didn't even watch the game against Brighton, but I was happy that we was out of that cup.
Yeah.
With the FA Cup, I mean, Arsenal are the kings of the FA Cup.
That's your bread and butter.
They hold the crown, and it's like, I don't want us to go.
Obviously, you've got Europa.
The thing is, as well, because you've had such a strong and good start to the season, obviously all your players, they look fit, they look informed, they look fucking ready for every game. They're just turning up, and because you've got this lead, obviously we get 5 points in the game in hand. You kind of almost have that
momentum.
Momentum, but it's also an opportunity to potentially drop a point to X, Y, and Z team, which sure no one wants to do, just to keep your finger in that FA Cup, for example. Or obviously Europa League kind of thing.
Europa League, FA Cup, and this title race.
I mean, Europa League and FA Cup, I think Arteta will won't play many first team players.
Not until like the semis or finals, anyway.
I think Nketiah will start, but now we've got Trossard who will start instead of Martinelli.
Yeah,
I think he should give Saka a rest on Friday.
Yeah, he's played a lot.
He's played a lot. You know, we've got Trossard and we've got Smith Rowe now. Then we've got like Fabio Vieira, El Neni will probably play. Marquinhos probably won't start, but he'll probably come on.
No, but it's still just
Tommy Asu gets more game time.
Tommy Asu will probably play, yeah.
Let me put something to United boys, Callum Copley. Do you think like the Palace fixture is even more of an absolute like? It's just a bit. It stings even more because we've not rested players in anticipation for this game. We've kind of gone in, whereas like we could have either fully gunned for. I mean, we tried fully gunning for both, and it just didn't work. But like, would you have liked to see a more rested side against Palace,
No.
and then us going balls
Or
to
Arsenal.
the wall? Like for instance, even resting Casemiro for that game, just in anticipation for.
We would have lost that game if Casemiro wasn't playing.
I think the only thing
the second half we saw against Palace was the same we saw today, the same we'll see next week, and the same we'll see the week after. And that's how it's going to be for at least a month.
At the end of it, to play for this club, you need to be prepared to be playing between 40 to 50 games at the highest levels.
100%. Yeah.
And whether you agree with obviously workload and whatnot, that's what you need to be prepared to do to play for this club. We see it in a few players, or actually I'll say probably most now, to be honest. But you need to be prepared to play those kind of games.
Your
or play
fitness
that
level
amount.
needs to be at an extreme
Yeah.
level.
The fact we've seen Liverpool, I think was it last season? You played every single game.
This up. We played every single game possible, and you could tell by the end we were.
And one fuckle.
And they were fucked.
Yeah,
we're currently the only team in England in all 4 competitions, and we don't have the depth for it.
The only reason I think we were able to do a bit more is because obviously we've had years of Klopp's, fitness of pressing, whereas Ten Hag's come in, and to be honest, they were a lazy team. Yeah, and them get them back. United were a lazy team before Ten Hag's come in, so they weren't probably their fitness levels were nowhere near ready for this.
The thing is, they're probably still not either. But
they're probably still not.
But the thing is, if Ten Hag says, right, Palace midweek, fixtures for the next 2 months are fucked, so let's put a rested team here. That doesn't set a good example. It's not a good that's what breaks culture. We'll rest Palace. Because you're not giving them any respect, and then Palace are going to say, right, fuck these guys and absolutely stomp us.
In the Premier League, in the Premier League, you need to start your strongest 11 every single game. Right? I think with United, I think they are obviously, we said it before in the podcast, that they're kind of going to have to emulate what Arsenal are doing in their whole rebuild, trust the process with the manager. I think they're probably a bit more advanced than Arsenal were when Arteta took over. I mean, they've already got some world-class players in Rashford, Varane, Martinez, Casemiro. They've already got a decent core to their team, but they are going to fall like Arsenal did last season, where you look at the replacements you have for those world-class players, and they're simply not good enough. So I think being in all those competitions as well. I mean, I think
it hurts them massively.
There's a potential that they might fall off a little bit.
It's like you're almost sort of like overachieving too early, because not only is it a massive thing that you're shattered, you're tired, but also a massive thing that I noticed when we was doing it is you can't train in these periods of time. You have rest days, and that's about it. Rest, match prep, no training, no work on the training ground with your new manager. Just rest, because you're playing so often.
Yeah,
it's difficult.
I think this season, 2 more transfer windows. Arteta has now got a pretty decent replacement backup in most positions, apart from this number 6 role. Trossard coming in, he's good backup for Saka and Martinelli. We're signing this centre back from Italy that I'm not gonna lie, I've got no fucking idea who he is, not a clue. And then at the start of the season we signed.
Oh, she's bad.
Start of the season, we signed Jesus, who wasn't back up as a starter, and Zinchenko, who's been class in the last 2 games actually.
Yeah, he
has
is
really, really, really good. So Arsenal are starting to look more like a squad than just a team now, which is nice to see. I thought Trossard came on and done a pretty decent job. He wasn't on for that long, but he came on and he had a bit of energy about him, gave the defenders a little bit to worry about, and tracked back when we needed him to. It's nice to see Arsenal compared to last year, where we just fell flat on our face because we did not have the quality to carry on how we were playing. It's nice to see us bring some better players on than what we have in the past.
100 emoji. 100 emoji. I mean, moving on to our topic. I mean, you would say that City United are one of the closest to you guys, even though you've been sort of levels above. Ugh, hate to say it, but Haaland is. Well, Jim, you were going to say he's going to flop, actually, mate. So we'll go with you.
No, see, you're twisting words here. I said the transfer will flop. I said I don't give a shit how many goals he scored, as long as it's. As a City don't win the league, I don't give a shit how many goals he scores. The whole philosophy of playing as number 9 for Pep when he's never done it will flop.
But the thing is,
I completely disagree. I completely disagree with that. Like, it's not his fault that defenders can't defend, or defenders aren't doing their job, or that
Team's disbalanced.
But I don't think it is
compared to what it used to be.
It hasn't changed.
We had this discussion last week about Haaland, right? And it's the fact that we said it last week in the podcast. Pep's gone from playing with players he's gone from playing with 6 players in the front three that can play in any position, and now he has to play around Haaland. I know it's all.
I'm not saying agree with you. I don't think it's Haaland's fault.
You would never see Mahrez in the middle last year. Mahrez is a winger. Grealish is a winger. Like, I understand the alternation that obviously Jesus used to come out in the wing, and then Sterling would come inside. I get that. But just because goals are coming through one person doesn't mean your defenders stop defending. Doesn't mean like
it's a team. It's a whole team shift, though, isn't it? They've gone from having the control of 6 midfielders essentially to this striker that, to be honest, if he's not getting service,
so the only thing that's changed is one player has now come in, and it's
but we said
the goals are coming.
In the first game, everyone said they're going to have to adapt how they play. Of course, you're going to have to adapt how you play. They've gone from playing with a false 9 to an out-and-out striker. But it's not his fault that he's still scoring and the team's not performing.
25 goals as well, by the way.
You can't sit there and say that the transfer is a flop.
But go back to where
in the league, I think it will be.
If Haaland doesn't get the service, he doesn't get the goals. But how much more service does he need if he's already bagging 25 goals?
It's not Haaland's fault that the defenders are playing, that City are playing poorly at the back and they're leaking goals and they're being caught on a counter. Like, that is not Haaland's fault.
I'm saying it is his fault. I'm saying the transfer of changing the way Pep has played his whole career from loving false 9s to playing with an out-and-out striker. That philosophy change has flopped if they don't win the league. That's what I said.
Sure, he managed Ibrahimovic and he's an out-and-out.
Yeah, and it was terrible.
Yeah, he got the absolute can straight away.
He got axed after a year. It was awful for him.
What I would say to sort of bolster, I just want to ask Jim a question about it. Like, if they were to win the Champions League,
that changes it massively because they never won it.
Yeah, would you say that transfer is then not a flop? It's just more. To be honest, I think if they make that next step, granted they might take an L on the league this year.
Flop's like an extreme level of word.
The transfer's not a flop. It's as simple as that. You don't.
I think changing the way he's always gone about his way, if they don't do well this year, has not gone well at all. Clearly,
you also can't say if Arsenal go on and lose one game in the season that's anything to do with City.
I mean, yeah, but they've
you don't expect them to be that good.
They've also looked pretty average themselves, though.
One thing I will say, look. So every time Haaland bags a hat trick or he bags 2, everyone's all up in his rear end, right? But you look at the games where City haven't won, and they've drawn, and they've
everyone
lost.
blames him.
And you look at, I don't blame him, but you look at the stats that come out, and you look how influential he is in those games that they've drawn or lost, and you have to sit there and question: would it be the same if it was how their old system used to be? Because you would never see Sterling playing the striker, playing in the same position that Haaland's playing in, and only getting 4 touches in the first half or something like that. So it's not so much about he's absolute
just his fault.
Machine.
Obviously,
the transfer is never going to be a flop. You don't sign Haaland, who goes on to score 25 goals in however many games, and say it's a flop. But it's the games that they haven't won that they maybe should have won, and in those games he has been non-existent because it's a different style of playing and they haven't been able to get the ball into him. Like, if you cut the service off and you can't get the ball into him and he can't score, we've seen it. They've drawn games that they shouldn't have drawn, and they've lost games that they shouldn't have lost.
It's hard to say now because obviously, like I said, they could go win the Champions League, and you look back at their game when they've gone out in the Champions League, you could say maybe if they had someone like him, they probably would have done better in the Champions League.
Yeah,
but in the league format, the way he's been playing previous seasons has been flawless almost.
Yeah, from a City
5
point
out
of
of
view,
6.
From a City point of view, if City go and win the Champions League, they don't care if they don't win the league. They want that Champions League so bad.
Yeah,
that league title to them has just become the norm.
standard.
Standard. Like if they don't win it, but they win the Champions League, they're probably equally as happy as Arsenal are winning the league.
Yeah,
in my
100%.
opinion.
Yeah.
But
100%.
But he's a freak of nature.
He's a robot, that boy.
It's infuriating to watch because, you know, half of the goals that he scored this season
So simple, but
probably the easiest goals you're ever going to see.
he's just always there in the perfect spot.
Well, I think it goes a little bit unnoticed. He's only 22 as well.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, and you know they obviously, you know, when Pep and the City team get a bit more used to the way they are playing with Haaland, they're only going to get stronger and stronger. So, you know,
I think again it's slightly different scale, but I think it's similar. City are in a similar situation to Liverpool to an extent in terms of their creative, who were world class players for the last 4, 5, 6 years, are still at a very good level. But it is an aging squad, and you're seeing the likes of Arsenal with a very young squad. You're seeing I can't think of United have relatively young players, and you're not really seeing that kind of injection of young players in City. Besides potentially, obviously Haaland,
Rico Lewis.
You got that left back. Gomez is his name.
Phil Bowden.
Lewis is the right back.
Look, but you know for a fact, that City aren't going to make the same mistake as Liverpool. Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, and Rodri aren't going to be playing every single game. They're going to have world-class players coming and replace them.
100%.
But yeah. So I mean, the whole thing about Haaland is it's just them adapting to having to play a completely different attacking style of football.
They're also stupid for letting who they've let go to who they let them go to.
Arrogant.
I saw. I think it was not Carragher. I think it was Keown or someone like that. No, I don't know. It was someone on Sky Sports said that they've almost disrespected. It could have been him. It was someone like that. But they basically said how they've disrespected the way the league has been. No, not just like you would never sell to a rival like that, and they've sold 3 players to 2 rivals. Yeah, and they weren't just.
Who's the third?
Like
Sterling,
and obviously, Haaland's come in, but they've also lost 3 players that.
It was a complete lack of arrogance. It was
Sterling was so. We say like he missed chances, but he was so good for them for so many.
Oh yeah, he would get you 10+ goals.
They've lost 3
every
players.
season.
Yeah. They've lost 3 players, but I mean, maybe not look at Sterling this season, but in Jesus and Zinchenko.
Well, Sterling, even just for City, how good they were for City.
Yeah, if you look, they've lost 3 winners, 3 players with incredible passion for the game. I mean, you look at Zinchenko and Jesus, like how much passion they have. Their winning mentality is incredible, and they're so used to winning, and to ship them off to a team that Pep, or I don't know if it was Pep or I don't know if it was Man City, clearly didn't think were going to be a harm to them. They look a bit silly now, don't they?
They look ridiculous.
At the moment.
The thing is, not only that, but also, don't get me wrong, I'm sure the Arteta-City relationship is still very good because obviously his time there. But to sell the players like Zinchenko to Jesus to Arteta of all rivals, it is just ludicrous.
The players, you think back to the old eras, mate. And would only one of those top clubs dare sell a big player to another club? Not a chance.
No.
And then you do 3 in one window.
Yeah.
Although, have you seen what he's apparently privately made a remark about how much more his success would have been celebrated if he joined?
It's always been kind of known because he's made a few comments before about his success, and I think he generally said once, didn't he? My success.
There's a story came out.
So different.
Yeah, it was yesterday. He said how much more celebrated it would have been if he did what he did at United.
Well, of course, he's just gone to an oil-rich club and fucking spunked loads of money against the wall, and he's also inherited a fucking world-class team as well. Like
it's not on the topic, but it's it goes in with what you've just said about him. That booing at half-time against Spurs, you were losing 2-0, but my God, what this man's done for you, and you're booing him at half-time while you're second.
Yeah, no, I do get that, but like, are you seriously like? I don't think that the success would have been celebrated more because say he went to United, like we've been so average for so long, and Man United like have football heritage as Jose Mourinho would say. Like they do have football heritage. I think even if Pep went to Arsenal.
I'd say any big top club like
that.
If
he went to Arsenal or United, any of the normal teams in the upper echelon of the game, like it would have been 100%. Of course, it would have been because you're taking that team, but like the fact that he's gone to a club that's literally,
run.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like the amount of money that has been pumped into that team is ridiculous. Same with Man United, of course, but like with Man United, it's been built from the ground up. Same with Arsenal as well. Arsenal have been built from the ground up. Like it's just such a ludicrous statement from
a different breed
of
fan base, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and like that's pretty much it.
I saw. It might be after the Spurs game. I don't actually know. I saw it later than that during the week. But I saw him talking about how like when that Rico Lewis was fouled at some point and none of his players went over to help him or to back his beef or anything like that. There's something a bit off with Man City in that respect because Pep is saying these things that
he's been a bit rattled in a few
wouldn't really expect him to say. And like you look at Arsenal, you look at their passion they have for each other and their team spirit they have for each other, and it's almost like Pep was saying that Man City are currently lacking that.
It goes back to that point of there's the fact they got booed off at half time while they're sitting in second. Liverpool in ninth. We're in ninth.
1-4.
Those fans won't dare boo Klopp. It's just disrespectful. It was so disrespectful.
Going into half time, 2-0 down against Spurs is pretty fucking embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
That is disrespectful anyway.
You know what that team's capable of though, and they were capable of it.
Yeah,
4 goals. Like you know what that team's capable of because you know what they've done over the years, and you disrespect it like that.
But to play devil's advocate, maybe that's what the team needed. They needed to know that the fans were fucking. Like, obviously, they're not going to be seeing that, but like that maybe that they needed that to then spark that.
Yeah, enough of talking about the two far superior teams in the league. Let's talk about the real shit stains of the league. So Everton, the relegation teams, and Spurs.
The fact that Everton board have come out and said we're not the ones in charge of sacking Lampard.
Yeah, that was.
Who the fuck is then?
Who is? Yeah. Is it like a Bane situation where he's saying there's a random trigger man in Gotham and it's just one random fan? Lampard.
So Lampard's probably sat there over the moon.
Yeah,
he's like, come on.
Wait, am I in charge of sacking myself? I'm sorted.
I was so sure that the loser of the West Ham Everton game, either respective manager was going.
Yeah.
Everton look shocking. I can't believe he's still there.
They're currently sitting in 19th. Don't get me wrong, the bottom is tight, but they've won 3 games in 20.
They don't get easier because they got Arsenal and Liverpool next. I know Liverpool's not playing great, but it's still a big game.
It's Derby, isn't it?
Yeah, I do like it when the bottom is tight, though. Do you know what I mean? It makes for good viewing. And to be honest,
allowed to say that.
I don't know what you're about. I'm just on about relegation battle. But yeah, like
so tight.
Honestly, never seen it so tight in my life. But with Everton and Lampard, I don't think it's a case of like what does he need to do to get sacked. I think Everton just need to go down, and unfortunately, like it's just their time has come. They managed to get
time to go.
Yeah, it literally is. It's time to go, as our mate Claude would say. R.I.P.
The thing is, though, if they go down there, they are screwed because they're currently building a new stadium.
Yeah, they're building a new stadium
as well.
They're not filling that if they go down.
They've spent like 500 million or something.
I don't know what they spent.
You think what they've spent 500 million? It's like me lumping 1080s on FIFA and then looking at the end of that week, like how the fuck am I going to afford food for work and stuff like that.
I'd say their wage bill is hefty as well.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. Yeah.
They just signed Danjuma as well. So I mean, yeah, I look at them and I don't think they've got a bad team, to be honest. I really don't.
No, they don't.
I think they need a goal scorer, though, don't they?
They do. They are missing goals.
Yeah,
I mean,
what's
I love-
happened to
I love
DCL?
He's always
Injuries.
injured.
Again?
No, he's coming back. He's coming back now, but
okay.
he's been injured.
Yeah.
I think their midfield is great. Anana.
I'll take Anana when they get relegated.
Yeah, Ghana as well. Yeah, we'll
I'll
take
take
Ghana back
Anana,
3
I tell
mil.
you. He's class. So I would take him, but obviously Arsenal getting Declan Rice, so we don't really need him. But yeah, I like their midfield. And they've got nothing going forward. I mean, they've got Damari Gray, who scores 2 wonder goals a season, but that's about it. They've got fucking Neil Maupay, who's
He failed at Brighton and now he's failing at Everton.
He's a donkey.
That's a nice way.
They've missed out the bag.
On Gordon.
They've missed out massively on Gordon now.
Yeah.
60 million they rejected. Was it?
He ain't going for
60?
He ain't going for 20, 30 now.
The thing is, I'm pretty sure I saw a report. I'm pretty sure I saw a report that Gordon is pretty much being hated by the fans, but he just doesn't look like he's trying anymore.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It doesn't. It doesn't. He's a shadow of the player he was last year. Last year
shit.
It was a right little cunt. He was probably tenacious and he was always in your face and he was
passion, energy. Yeah, he had that. To be fair.
But this year it's non-existent. I haven't watched a lot of Everton in recent times, but they're just
into a nicer player.
Blame you, to be honest.
They're just shite.
Yeah.
I can't believe he's still there.
I say, do we think anyone have any idea if he'll be going down anytime soon, like getting sacked?
He has to be.
Well, for the board to come out and say it's not their choice to sack him, I don't know.
I don't know what contract. Wait, let me Google it right now. I don't know what contract he's on. Lampard contract. He has to be on a big deal. He's on a 2.5-year deal till 24. So that's next year. So he's got a year and a half left, and So, but he has to go.
Fixtures,
he has to go.
Like Cobley said, you're Arsenal, Liverpool. Then what do you do? What do you do with Arsenal, Liverpool? Do you say, it doesn't matter, he wasn't expected to get a result against them anyway? But then you can't. There's 2 games gone. You're just thrown away. And then after that, they've got Leeds, Villa, Forest. 3 teams. You've got to be getting some points.
And you either get a new manager in and he gets you the bounce back and those big results, because that will keep them up potentially. Or do you give him it and say, well, this is your last straw, but then it's too late if you don't win it.
Yeah.
I think
the thing is,
he's run his course. He's a championship manager. He's fucking shit.
Oh yeah, he's not good. I mean, after seeing West Ham beat Everton 2-0, I was sitting in my chair shaking backwards and forwards, thinking, "Fuck me, the manager bounce is going to come and bite us in the arse." But luckily,
no, you've got him.
Yes, we've got away with that one.
The worst thing is as well, it's not even a case of you can be like, oh, they haven't spent anything. They've been spending still with him.
They've got an injection with obviously the Richarlison sale and whatnot, but you think they signed Tarkowski this season? They've got Cody on loan. Mopay, I don't know what the fee was on that.
That was a free.
Was that free? But even so, the wages are probably hefty.
Also, the January before he came, they also spent as well.
I think because they bought Idrissa Gay.
Dele Alli was like,
and they shipped him off to fucking Turkey.
Yeah, and he's shit in Turkey as well, by the way. He's shit in Turkey.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Everton are just fully.
And it's fantastic.
The thing is that Everton have to get rid of Lampard effectively probably the next 2 games, in my opinion, to have any chance of survival. And
so they signed Dwight McNeil for 17 million.
I've got the man for them. I've got the man for Everton.
Who's that?
Poch.
No, Poch doesn't go to Everton.
Where is he gonna go?
I don't know.
Staying employed.
To Spurs.
Mate,
True. Yeah, he might go back actually.
Fucking run it back, boys.
Stevie G.
Let's quickly swap the topics around a little bit. We'll get back to relegation in a second, but talking about managers going and now you saying Spurs, obviously the news with Conte coming up.
Yeah.
He's not renewing. I mean, I don't know what.
Well, didn't the director of football, technical director, someone came out and said, "Oh no, we're writing up a new deal for him now." The thing is, you don't have that article leaked and they say, "Oh no, we're halfway through a contract." At the end of the day, they may be writing up a contract, but I don't think Conte's going to sign it. Why would you?
They've said that to save face 100%.
He's dipping. He's absolutely
He's dipping. He said, "Look, I've given you a few transfer windows to sort me out. You've not sorted me out, you tight bastards. You've given me 60 million Richie, and that's
Flop,
about it.
by the way.
The only hope
Flop.
the only hope they have is doing what Arsenal and United did, but they won't do it. That club is just going to cycle and circle every fucking year. They'll sign another boring manager, and they'll do the same thing. It'll be like, oh, we may get this, won't win a trophy, but we may do all right.
Yeah,
and then the
maybe
next
all right,
season, and then it'll go round and around and around. That club is just.
I sit here pretty and say this with chest is that I don't think Conte is Conte isn't an innocent party in all of this.
Oh,
I think it's,
no.
I think the simple fact is Conte has been a serial winner for a lot of his career, and I think his ego is far too big at Spurs because he hasn't got the players to play the system that he wants. It's pretty obvious. Literally every single person in the league, every single fan, that they're simply not good enough, and that system isn't working. But week in week out, he continues to use the same system, and it's mind blowing. It's absolutely
But
crazy.
second halves, he can turn it up. They can play football.
Well, we said it last week on the podcast. Last week North London derby, and his players didn't look up for it, and that in itself is a fucking
Unforgivable.
Yeah.
It's an absolute.
I saw Thomas, another former Chelsea fucking manager's been linked to him.
Tommy
See,
T.
Tommy T got linked to him. I think that'd be a good one for him. Not for the pure reason that man is an absolute knockout specialist.
I feel like Daniel Levy will eat him up, chew him about, and then spit him out.
He's an unreal.
It's
He's
gonna be more
unreal
the
in
same
cup
thing,
games though.
They both play the same system. They haven't got the players for it, and Daniel Levy clearly isn't going to buy the players for it. They're talking about buying this fucking what's his name from Roma?
Zaniolo.
Zaniolo, whatever his name
Whatever
is.
his name is.
He's got more fucking. He's the third of the games he's played has been booked. He's injury prone as fuck, and Roma have come out and said that he's not leaving.
Like Kieran said, he said he's never been more disinterested in a side. I can't blame him.
I'm more excited about this centre back coming from Italy who let 5 goals in the weekend than the fucking Zaniolo.
I don't know, but who else do they go for? Like you said, they won't do what United and Arsenal did, a project, because they just don't seem to believe in it. But who do they go for?
I've got no idea. I think it's honestly a hand on heart.
On it back with Poch.
They'll bring back another shit manager, and it will all be the same thing.
The thing, obviously at the start of it was either this year or last year when they had their big spending spree, but they're obviously talking about selling. But that's obviously gone quiet. Obviously, it probably would when the likes of Liverpool and United up for sale, you probably would go quiet. But again, no conversation of that anymore. And now, unfortunately for Spurs fans, it looks like again they're just as you're all saying, just in that cycle of just shit mediocrity.
They should.
The thing is, they can still get fourth.
They can.
They still can. But
it doesn't mean anything to them. It doesn't matter. They keep getting fourth. They make more money, and the owners are happy. Fans are pissed off, and it's when Conte first came to Spurs, a part of me thought, shit.
Yeah.
That's I'm so used to them not winning fuck all. But now they've got this serial winner of a manager, and they still ain't won fuck all. So now I'm loving life.
I thought he was going to sneak an FA Cup.
I was going to say,
he was going to sneak something, even a little cheeky Community Shield, maybe. You know what I mean?
I haven't seen those players get better either.
You've seen
with Arteta, you've seen with us, you've seen players get better. They're just not getting better. What are you doing during the week?
When you look at their squad, their starting 11, you think Lloris not good enough anymore. You think the 3 centre backs they've got, Romero's the only good one. Even then, he's a hot-headed prick. Centre mids, Bentancur, who I think is really, really good. Hodgepodge, with all due respect, go back to where he came from. He ain't good enough to play.
Go back to Southampton and get relegated.
Their wing backs. I mean, fuck me sideways. Dog shit.
They need to play Jed Spence.
They haven't played Jed Spence, yeah.
Just out of spite.
Fell off the face of the earth.
They've got Sessegnon Royale. Perisic can't make a tackle. I need him to make a tackle. Stupid prick. And then forwards, I mean, Son. Fucking useless.
Yeah, what's happened to him? What's happened to him?
Someone's kidnapped a family.
Been humbled.
You start the season, he's playing poor, he's not doing great, and then he breaks his jaw and he puts a mask on, and you think, fuck me. Normally, when people put a mask on, they're unbelievable.
Yeah, Yeah.
He's taken the mask off and he's got even worse. You've got Kane and Kulu. Kulu is a good player. Kane's off at the end of the season, so they haven't got a fucking striker anymore. Saying that though, Ryan Randall, shout out Ryan Randall. They've got Dane Scarlett, who's the second coming of Messi, apparently, so he might do a job.
I've never seen him play a game for Spurs.
He's awful.
He's playing for Pompey right now.
When you look at their team and you compare their players against the United, the Chelsea,
You keep about 4 or 5 of them.
Liverpool, City, Arsenal, they're all dead weight.
If you, all of us, we got Liverpool, Arsenal, United. If you looked at their 11 and you said like you can have any of their players, I generally think I'm taking one.
I'll take Kane.
Two, maybe.
Probably take a cheeky Romero if you.
I'm not taking Romero. I think he's fucking overrated as shit.
A combined 11 out of the top 5 teams or the top 6 teams, you take Kane, and in 6 months you don't take anyone because he's fucking off. So,
I'm taking Kane and Bentancur. That's it.
No.
Depending what team.
Depth reasons.
Oh, depth reasons. Yeah,
I was going to say there's a few players like. I still like Basuma. I don't know what's happened to Basuma, but
apparently, at the start of the season, he's the biggest steal of the century.
I mean, yeah, I thought it was as well.
For what? For 25 million, you put your money on that.
Yeah,
he's been awful.
But I wanted him to be back up to party, but I'm glad that we haven't now. I'll stick with
honestly,
thank you.
I think they need to Tottenham need to action their consumer rights and issue a refund, mate. They're getting you as quarantine.
Run it back with Poch.
I think Bob
would be
said,
so Spurs. It would be so brilliant. I can see it happening as well. Oh, it'd be fucking hilarious. Kane leaves and Poch comes back in. Get relegated.
Kane leaving, Conte leaving. It's a very Spursy thing, and honestly, couldn't be happy.
I'm all here for it.
As Pep says, we cannot replace. They can't replace Kane realistically.
No.
The only similar type of players you've got is like maybe a Tony, an Ivan Tony, but he's not at that level. So like, they just.
That is probably.
Take an acca on and get back.
He's fucked as well. He'll bet himself to go.
The thing is, hypothetically, if Kane does go, they probably do go for like either a DCL if he actually starts playing again, or Tony.
Charleston starts week in, week out. Oh, cracking.
If I saw the Spurs Twitter tweet out "Welcome DCL" when I knew it was the opening game of the season, Spurs were starting fucking Everton rejects.
I think we should all drive round to Sipples and just peer through his window as that news is broken, just so we can see his face. Honestly,
fantastic.
Go on.
I'll say, Conte leaving, Spurs in disarray. Such a shame.
Yeah, and
such a shame.
Fair, that Brighton are only 2 points off.
I was going to say, Copley said, Tottenham could still get 4th. I'd put money on Brighton leapfrogging them.
Say the relegation back to last then. Brighton.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Brighton. You'd think after losing that absolute wizard as a manager, they'd be muddied a little bit, but they really haven't. They've actually, pardon the Harry Potter pun, but you just got to when his name's Pod.
Go and get me their scouts and drag them to Old Trafford.
Mate,
by the scruff of the neck.
It's unreal, isn't it? It's unreal.
When you talk about a well-run football club, Brighton and Brentford.
It's a new club, lads. I don't know if you know. It's my local team. They're an hour and 20 minutes down the road, so I've changed.
They were poor on Saturday. Or yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, that Matoma had another good game.
They're playing fantastic football.
Oh, it's beautiful.
They play as a team, right? And bear in mind, Danny Welbeck's still in the line. They're in a sick position.
Yeah.
Hats off. But I mean, like,
They
lost one of their better players in Trossard, and they've replaced him with Matoma. And if you ask me who I'd rather have, I'd probably rather have Matoma. But I mean, they've done a good job there. They lost one of their key man in summer in Basuma, and they replaced him with Caicedo, who is now
Cucurella as well.
Cucurella, he's dog shit.
He was their player of the season last year.
They replaced one of their key men with this Caicedo, and now he's going for 80 million whenever he's going to go.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
They got good recruitment.
They signed some 19-year-old
centre back,
unknown player. And everyone's like, well, can't wait for him to blow up in 2 years.
Yeah, literally.
That centre back, if you're going to say that.
No,
they've loaned a centre back from Chelsea.
Levi.
Oh, Ferguson.
He's Brighton, ain't he?
Yeah.
He looks like a player.
Yeah. He's bagging. He's
getting
goals.
He's 18. He's 18. He's played.
He's 18, and he looks like a very.
I'm pretty sure he scored every game I've watched him play.
Every
he
game
comes
I've
on and
seen,
just
he
scores.
scores.
No matter what, I'll just look at it and be like, oh, came on 70th minute.
Quite wild, but he reminds me a bit like he's like a very raw Harry Kane in regards to his build and kind of like his hustle and bustle and stuff like that. He can pass the ball and he can finish the ball. He looks like a good player. I was quite surprised that they dropped him because he started the last 3 games prior to yesterday. I was quite surprised they dropped him, but he came on. He scored a brilliant header. He scored a really good header. And,
that's phenomenal.
They're a cracking little team. I mean, it's good to see these smaller teams kind of do bits. Really, I mean, you've got them, and then Fulham and Brentford just below them as well.
Not far off at all.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Fulham are level on points, goal difference separating them. Obviously, Brighton have a game in hand as well on them, but yeah, man, like it's nice. It's refreshing to see like a club like Brighton. I mean, we can even touch on Brentford and Fulham as well, because Fulham, you'd have touted them to go down. So to see them,
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, halfway through the season up there, and you look who's below Brighton, Fulham, Brentford. It's Liverpool, Chelsea, as well. I mean, even below that as well. But the thing is, you've got like mainstays in that top half. Like you've got Leicester in the mud in the relegation. We'll touch on that right at the end. But like Brentford, Fulham, and Brighton, they're still like they're above these big teams. The sort of staples in English football, and it is just refreshing to see.
We'll probably do a video on it on our predictions. But how many of us had them? Some of them. I had
Fulham. I had Fulham.
Brighton
the fact
and Brentford.
We're going tomorrow. Fucking Fulham v Spurs at Craven Cottage, and I'd say
Fulham.
I don't know if anyone disagrees. We're all going into thinking Fulham probably win that.
Oh, Fulham probably win that.
Like, that's crazy to think.
It's nuts. You can give the utmost respect to Brighton and to Brentford, but I mean Fulham came up at the start of the season, and I don't think anybody expected this. But I mean, they've been really that Silva's doing a class job there. They play proper football, and they were unlucky against. I don't know who they played the weekend.
Newcastle.
They played tomorrow, but last weekend they were unlucky to lose that game. I mean, they should have won it if Mitrovic could have buried his penalty. They've been really good.
I don't know who I saw say. I think it was someone on Sky Sports, but Mitrovic has scored the most goals since the start of last season in English football. Just full stop.
Last season.
So he scored like 50. He scored a ridiculous amount last year.
That doesn't count. He was playing in the Farmers League.
Yeah, but even so, he's done that switch before. He's been playing the Championship, then came out to the Prem, and he's done fuck all.
The switch that he's made this year has been very, very impressive.
Well, think about it. We all joked about it. We joked about, here comes Fulham and Norwich.
What did Brand say? Brand called him something. Fuck, I'm going to have to find the clip, but...
What was it? Something dartboard?
Yeah, it sounded like a dartboard, yeah. I know
they do it every year. We all joke. They do it every time. They come up, they go shut it down, but fucking hell.
Yeah, but I mean, them three clubs and them three managers especially deserve a lot of credit because I mean they've been really good.
Especially the Brighton and Fulham manager, in my opinion, because they're both new managers to the year. Because obviously they had Scotty P. Oh no, Scott P left at the end of last season, didn't he? End of the season before, sorry.
Yeah.
So they went to Bournemouth. Yeah. But obviously Brighton changed a new manager mid of this season.
Zerbi, whatever his name is, to come in and do the job that he's done is fantastic. I mean, if they get European football, mate, it'll be fucking
that'd be
incredible.
Sensational. It'd be so big.
Losing the players that they did and people thinking, fuck me, they're just a breeding club.
And manager halfway through.
Yeah. And manager halfway through.
Long-serving manager.
You sat there and you felt sorry for them. Yeah. They've been better. They've been better since getting rid of it or since losing
They've been better and overtaken the manager that left them.
Yeah, literally.
They brought through better players than they've let go. I mean, it's impressive. It's really impressive, and I hope they do get European football.
I think if they get European football, they probably keep hold of like players like Caicedo. Obviously, Gross had a good season. Marsh had a good season.
I don't know. Someone comes in for 80 mil, you can't really.
Simple fact.
Yeah, they'll find someone else, won't they?
Yeah, they've got backup ready.
Apparently, money talks.
Yeah, and you saw Arsenal go 50 million for Ben White, Brighton, and they were going to say no for that. Yeah. Did they say no for 80 million for Caicedo? No, not a chance.
Yeah, but the club, sure. If like an Arsenal or United, a City come in for Caicedo, sure, 67 million, sure that's it's almost hard to say no to on a club and also at a personal level. But if a player like, for example, let's say Tottenham or let's say Chelsea, maybe not Chelsea, but
He's going Chelsea.
any 6th to 10th, if they come in for with Caicedo, you're thinking, well, we're in European football, for example. Why would you move?
80 mil, 80 mil.
It's like one.
It's like Dortmund. Dortmund are always going to.
I can't believe them words came out of.
Dortmund are always going to sell.
Last week, when I was talking about why would Mudryk go to Chelsea when Arsenal are top of the league? Well, money talks.
Yeah, but Mudryk is also going to the Premier League. He's still getting a move to the Premier League either way.
Yeah, but Caicedo's going from Brighton to.
But if they get European football, then that's European football.
It's Chelsea and the wages he's going to get.
Brighton see 80 million coming from fucking Chelsea. They're going, mate, Moyes, you're out. See you later. We're bringing in the next kid. We've got 5 of them ready.
We're on FM. We're on FM doing a fucking sim just to see.
From a player point of view, if you play outside a team that isn't the top 6, if a top 6 club come in for you, mate, you want to go. It's as simple as that. It doesn't matter if your team finished above them this season. They're a top 6 club. You know, Liverpool and Chelsea currently 10th or 11th or whatever. They're still a top 6 club.
Yeah.
They always will be a top.
The thing is,
the Champions League 2 years ago.
They're also not going to be that low next season. You'd probably put your money on.
The big 6, the big 6 are the big 6 for a reason, because they've got the most history and they're the best teams in the league.
Yeah.
Football heritage.
I mean, I don't know how Spurs are in the big 6, but
they forced their way in with a new stadium. That's about it.
Yeah, they did.
Wait. Like Harry Kane carried that club on the back to the big 6.
It's crazy, isn't
it? But yeah, I mean,
they're so fucked without Kane next year. When he's in red.
Yeah, should we talk about the relegation battle? The fodder.
Crap.
Yeah.
I mean, relegation battle about
now
6 teams in there.
I was going to say, probably, and the rest. Again, Leicester's kind of finding a bit of form, so you probably potentially.
You probably say 8. You probably say 8.
7 teams minimum.
So the jump between Southampton 20th on 15 points to Forest in 13th is a 6-point gap.
That's wild.
With only Leeds having a point, with only Leeds having a game in hand.
Goal difference aside, Southampton could, obviously goal difference is a part of it, but goal difference aside, Southampton could go from 20th to 14th with all results going their way.
Couple game weeks.
Just
that is wild.
But I do think it's time for Southampton to go down.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know why they sack thingy, Ralph. I don't know.
They got them through it every time.
That was a strange one, wasn't it?
Maybe they were like, "Oh, we're sick of being this like shithole, so we're gonna like try something new." But it looks like it's gonna.
Who's their manager again? What's his name?
The manager of Luton, old manager of Luton.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, I forgot his name. But
I'll tell you what. Like on the topic of Hasenhüttl, Spurs.
I think it's been spoken about.
They'll need to stay up next year, so could be the man for the job.
Yeah, it could be the man for the job. I mean,
Sean Dyche.
That's for Maker.
Sean Dyche's in prison, ain't he? You know what I mean? Assault charges and that.
When you look at the relegation battle, I mean, I didn't expect West Ham to be down there.
No, me either.
I didn't expect West Ham to be down there. And then the other team that you say stands out a little bit is probably Wolves, because they last season they were pretty decent. I didn't expect them to be down there either.
I can't tell if they've got better with this new manager or not.
Yeah,
no, they have. They definitely. What Wolves?
Because they gave us some really hard games.
No,
but then I've also seen them be
Wolves
shit.
have definitely got better.
But you're also seeing players like
table, though.
You've seen players
bottom,
like
they were bottom.
Yeah, they were rock bottom. But you've seen players like Pedro. And I don't know if he's actually playing, but obviously besides Nunes, he's coming in. That 8 Nouri.
Oh yeah. Our squad should not be anywhere near relegation. No. You say these players: Ruben Neves, Nunes,
John
Moutinho. If they go down, there's going to be a big dollar sign. Fire sale, like
I want them to go down. I'll take
Ruben Neves,
more players from that Wolves team than I would Spurs.
What's the relegation clause? Tell me.
Yeah, go on, talk to me.
Matthias Nunes looks like a fucking player.
He is a baller.
The fact that we were interested in, we didn't go for it. I'm like,
he shouldn't be.
It's the classic. It's the classic with all of these relegation fodder teams is that they just can't score.
Yeah, they are lacking.
They lost, there was talks of Pedro Neto going to Arsenal in the summer for 50 million or whatever. I think, fuck, we didn't go for him.
Yes.
And he got injured. He done his ACL. He's out for God knows how long. They got Jimenez, who obviously had that horrific.
He ain't going to get you the goals.
who just looks like a shadow of the
Shadow
player
of the
that he
player,
used to be. You got that Podence who looks good once every 3 games,
Yeah.
but they don't score. I don't even know who else they've got in the team.
Adama.
Diego
That has
Costa.
no end product
Adama is
whatsoever.
just a shit Valencia.
He actually is, like
He
at least
is.
Valencia was good for a drilled cross and the odd.
They've got
The odd
Hwangi.
banger.
I don't know if he's still there. Hwangi Chan.
Yeah,
They
he's still
obviously
there.
They
Yeah,
brought
he's
in.
still there.
They brought in Cunha. They've
Yeah.
got
I think
the dog Diego Costa. I don't even know if he fucking
Has he
still-
scored from
don't
yet?
even know if he's alive still.
no, he hasn't scored in the league. I think West Ham will be out of it. They've signed Danny
Yeah.
Ings. I
Yeah.
think that's a very
I think
good
they're
signing.
always going to be
That's
fine.
that's a
like, they've got
beautiful signing
enough.
for West
That's
Ham.
good
That is a
signing.
wonderful
West
signing.
Ham signed that Skamaka who just has not worked. It hasn't worked. I think Danny Ings is a great signing for him. They
Yeah.
need goal. He always ends up popping up with a
He
decent
knows
goal.
where the goal is, at least. Do you know what I mean? That's a start.
I fully expect him to be their starting striker week in, week out now. There's no way he would have gone there without that promise
Yeah.
from West. You know,
Skamaka's still. Go on.
I was going to say, Danny Ings is probably, 11th place Aston Villa is probably about right for Danny Ings. But, when West Ham come knocking, they 100%. He wouldn't have gone to West Ham if he wasn't guaranteed to start.
Because he wasn't
100%.
starting every game for Villa.
Yeah,
so-
he must have been spitting feathers, starting like being on the bench behind Ollie Watkins. Like,
He loves claret and blue. Him.
fucking hell, that is grim. Imagine just warming up, thinking you're going to come on, and you see Ollie Watkins fluff chance after chance after chance. You're thinking, yep, I put that away. Yep, I'll definitely bury that one. Open goal and he's missed it. I fucking bury that 9 times out of 10. 100 times out of
What's
100.
more goals than Arsenal strikers this season?
Who, Ollie Watkins?
Pretty sure he has. What's he on? 6 or 7?
Let me
That's
go
generous.
Is he not on that?
Ollie
He gets about
Watkins.
he gets 100 chances a game, so he'll be doing something right. But
Yeah,
He's
I'm
got to be on
just
6 or
thinking.
7 goals.
I'm just
4.
thinking. You slip Danny Ings. You think you slip Danny Ings any of Ollie
3.
Watkins' chances?
threes.
And I think the conversion rate is
3 in the league, 1 in the EFL Cup.
Fucking hell, he's shit.
He is shit. Eddie
I
Nketiah.
shouldn't really hate him. Got a reason.
He's 27.
He's
27.
I thought he's a bit young.
Don't bring Eddie Nketiah into this because he walked into every single team.
No. I was going to say Eddie Nketiah scored. Did Nketiah score 2 goals today? Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah. So
What do you mean, didn't he? The game happened an hour ago.
yeah, I was just
Didn't he?
sorry, I just got a bit of short-term memory loss. I just put it out of my head.
I don't know, Greg. Sorry, that wasn't me.
But that's all right, mate. Are you
That was
all right
trauma.
though? Are you
That was
okay?
past trauma getting brought up.
Past trauma getting
I've let it
brought
go.
up.
I've let it go.
Yeah.
I don't see
anyway, he's a good player,
I don't
isn't
see
he?
the bottom 3. I don't see the bottom 3 changing. I think
No,
all of them
not
go
at all.
down as it currently
No.
is.
I think
Yeah.
just quick to butt in. I think I've just seen possibly my favourite tweet. Definitely my favourite tweet of 2023, but possibly my favourite tweet of this footballing season. Yes, probably. Turn you back. It was from United.
going to be an Arsenal tweet.
It was not an Arsenal tweet. A United tweet. A United tweet.
Was it Trey?
No. The tweet is from a United Twitter account. Yeah, quite a well followed United Twitter account.
Oh, no.
And the tweet is: I need Anthony to go into a dark room with a big Warner projector and watch some Bukayo Saka comps. Fan-fucking-tastic. That's getting a reason.
Tell you what, to cap off the podcast, I would say I don't know how I speak. Like I'm speaking as a Man United fan, and Man United Arsenal were the rivalry that literally was in primary school for me. That was like, if you're an Arsenal fan, I fucking hated you in school. Like, it's nice to see that. It's nice to see that rivalry's back, because the whole City, the City Pool rivalry was just so shit. Like, it was so shit.
It wasn't shit.
It was.
Nah, it was so shit. Like,
The football was incredible.
Yeah.
but we've now got 2 of the, like, we've got like Arsenal as an actual like
It was
competitor.
only shit because there was no
serious
like
team.
actual rivalry there.
You
The football was beautiful.
But yeah, no, I think I think like just my inner child, like watching football, it's a little bit cured just seeing Arsenal and United like fighting neck and neck. And I tell you what, that game was fucking fantastic to watch.
You
as
say
well.
fighting neck and neck. I sit here and say we should be beating you lot with ease.
Yeah, cool. See, but the thing is, a year ago you wouldn't have said that. That's the thing.
And also, at the start of the season, you're saying this is a free hit. So give us a year, and we'll be back to the United Arsenal. And
no, 100%. At some point, yeah, but not right now. I mean, it definitely felt like today felt like a much bigger game than what Arsenal United games had in the past. And you're right, Cal. I did say United got a free hit at the start of the season, but due to how good they've been in let's say 70% of their games, I would guess.
Give or take,
you can no longer be happy with this season being a free hit. I think United.
It's top 4 now.
Football this season.
Yeah, I agree.
I do think they've been the third best team in the league. I know Newcastle defensively have been fantastic, but I think Newcastle are shit to watch. I don't like watching.
The most boring, dry team, and again, it for me a little bit. I enjoy seeing because obviously we're going to see the entire journey of how they've been bought. Spend good. To be fair, they've signed well, and now obviously they're sitting in third, but also like fuck off, get out my spot.
Yeah, can you fall off, please? Just
get out your spot. How do you think I feel?
What do you mean? What do you mean? You spent half your childhood Liverpool being fucking shit. Just
at least we get top 4 quite often.
Just savor the moments you had. You're now going to be a staple in the 6th and 7th.
I know you're talking about the quality in that United Arsenal game, but fuck me, the lads that watched it with me. That Liverpool Chelsea game, quality wise.
Oh mate.
Big mid off.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Mid off.
That was. I didn't watch the first half, but that was.
I didn't watch any of it.
It managed to make me like really
angry.
have a shit day.
Getting angry.
I was pretty annoyed. The fact that my Saturday was ruined from watching 2 teams that are quite irrelevant to me right now. I was pissed off.
I mean, he probably should have enjoyed it. He was more annoyed. He had to watch the shit.
Jim, Burnley Wolves Christmas last year.
I said, I think I would rather watch Burnley Wolves. I sat there on the live stream as well, and I said I preferred watching Brighton spank us 3-0 than that game because at least I was watching something nice. It was it was like watching. I don't know. I can't say that. It was like watching, it would be like watching me and like someone else in the boys have like who can score the best free kick on a football pitch. It would just go on forever and just be shit. It was like these 2 idiots fighting. It was useless. There was a moment a Chelsea player fell over his own feet and managed to kick the ball out of play.
He tackled. There was a Chelsea player tackled another one on the floor.
It was embarrassing.
At least you can laugh about it.
It was just hilarious. It was.
I know exactly.
It was a good laugh.
I would rather watch Bournemouth Forest. Like that's how bad it was.
Hey, Jim. All I'm saying, is that there's a great club in North London.
Here we go.
And you are more than welcome.
Remember, that's another £50 fine. That's a £50 fine there.
Jim, you look good in red as well.
You look great in red, Jim. Great.
Yeah, United. There you go. Wait, his team is red.
My team is red.
Fuck me, you're slow.
Anyway, I'm Brighton anyway. Come on, Seagulls.
Yeah.
I'll see you next weekend.
Jim, to cap off the podcast, do your best seagull impression just to sign us off.
Your mic's going to pick it up.
Right, guys.
Give me them chips.
Team of the week on TikTok.
On TikTok, team of the week. We'll do a spinny wheel. Our Cal's doing it. Link in the description. Make sure to show this podcast some love. It's been an absolutely fantastic one. I hate Arsenal. And Aaron, I hate you even more.
Check out the new graphics soon come.
Soon come.
Soon. Brown won't be a snowman. It'll soon actually just be 5, maybe 6 people.
I thought that was Casemiro.
Casemiro / snowflake, snowman / Brown.
Man.
All right, see you later, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Peace.
Peace.